So, how did you choose your profession?
Well, it was kind of interesting.
What was your profession?
Well, I was a dentist. I eventually became a dentist. When I was in the Navy and I was ready to leave, I was offered to be able to stay in, but I didn't know what I wanted to do, and so I decided to apply to dental school, and I did. And I applied to 3 dental schools, and one of them said no. The other dental said maybe next year, and the other one said you're on a waiting list. And so I said okay, and so it came down to I was on the waiting list, and now I'm going to either stay in the Navy or I'm going to get out, and we're talking about days. And so I'm down in Norfolk, Virginia, and I said, so I called up Temple University and I said, you know, I got to make a decision right this. And I talked to the Dean of Admission, Dr. Herman, and he said, oh, well, can you come in and have an interview? I said, yes, sir. He said, well, how about 10 o'clock? I said, well, I can't do that. I'm in Norfolk, Virginia. Well, but I certainly could be there tomorrow. And it was, they were not, we were on daylight saving time, and they were not, you know, that sort of stuff at that particular time. And so I went to, I got a plane reservation, took leave, and said, away I went. So I got into Dr. Herman's office at 10 o'clock the next day. And we sat there and we talked for maybe half an hour. And we were talking about what I did in the Navy. You know, and so on and so forth. And I said, and then he said, okay, see the secretary on your way out. Okay, all right. So I see the secretary. She hands me a piece of paper. I mean, an envelope with a piece of paper in it. So I said, thank you very much. And I walk out, and there's the acceptance letter. There were 52 seats. I was the 53rd.
Why do you think that was?
I have absolutely no idea. I mean...
Maybe because you were in the service?
Because I was in the service. I guess the way I presented myself, I don't know what it was. Well, anyhow, so now I'm in dental school. So I got to, and I start, you know, I got a young child at home, mornings, working at nights, and I'm babysitting, you know, and I would start to try to read and all that, but that's not the way I learn. I learn by people talking to me. And I can remember people giving a lecture. And if somebody talks to me about it, I can get the concept, and then I can read and reinforce that concept. But anyhow, we go along, and I finally said, shh, okay, I'm not going to sit there. And of course, it's all academic in the first couple of years, you know, anatomy and physiology and all that sort of stuff. So we're going along. But anyhow, we get into the clinical phase in my junior year. And I'm starting to go along, and for some reason, the people in the prosthetic department took some sort of liking to me or whatever, and I started working in doing it, and I was doing quite well. And so at the end of my junior year, instead of going back and working for my father cleaning furnaces between my junior and senior years, they asked me to stay on and do all the remakes for all the failed prosthetics. And I even was doing the operative dentistry, the fillings and that sort of stuff, for one of the prosthetic professors, his wife. And so I did. I had twice my requirements in prosthetics before I started my senior year.
Wow.
And so I was going to be a prosthodontist. Now, as far as oral surgery came, well, I used to go in to watch them do it and stay there as long as I could before I was going to pass out. That's the truth. And in the surgery department, the main resident was there all the time, called me Ensign Pulver.
Ensign Pulver.
From Mr. Roberts.
Right.
Because
That's funny.
that's exactly right. And so in my senior year now, when they got short of people on the, you need to stop?
Well, I got a battery signal, but maybe you just could get me some batteries. Go ahead.
If well, we can do it again if you need to, but if they were short on the clinic floor for prosthetic instructors, they would call me down, so I was teaching the juniors.
As a senior.
As a senior.
Wow.
Okay. When I got ready to graduate, they offered me a job. But I was also offered a job from somebody in Plainfield. Okay? From a dentist in Plainfield. Okay? You need to stop?
Keep going.
So, and he wanted me in his practice. He really did. And he was good. He was a good practitioner. And I was doing it. But,
Were you in the Navy at this point?
well, I had been in the Navy.
Right.
But I still had commitment.
Okay.
Okay? And so I still had, you know, it's supposed to serve 2 years, but I had a 6-year commitment.
Okay.
So there was a commitment there. So anyhow, here I am doing this, offered this job, and then I get a letter from the Navy. And the letter says, we're offering you an internship. And I said, that sounds pretty good. Took it home to Margaret Ann, and she said 2 words after she read it. Do it.
Yeah.
She didn't say, I want you to do it. She said, do it. Because she didn't want to go back to Plainfield. Okay.
Where was the internship going to be?
In Philadelphia Navy Hospital.
Okay. And you were already in Philadelphia?
Yeah. Well, we moved to New Jersey to do that. But anyhow, that's, you know. But I still wanted to be a prosthodontist. So I get to there, and so I'm mixed. We're doing prosthetics, we're doing oral surgery, we're doing endo, we're doing, you know, all the different specialties in the endo. And as I said, you know, I was a little queasy in the stomach. And we had a nurse, Miss Matthews. She was tougher than nails. German. Okay? And she was, sterility was her maiden name. And she would not let any of us get away with anything, any break in sterility. If there was a break in sterility, she'd take all the instruments right away. She says, "You're starting over." And so I'm sitting there early on, and I'm watching him doing an open reduction or something else. I'm getting queasy. She comes, I'm scrubbed up, you know, full gown, gloves, the whole 9 yards. She said, "Put your hands up." She put my hands up like this. She grabs my mask, pulls down, took the stuff to my mouth, pulled the mask back up. It was spirits of ammonia. I thought my ears were going to blow out.
Because she didn't want you to drop.
She didn't want me to faint. Because she saw it coming.
He might pick you up.
Wow.
And by God, it worked. and I didn't want to have anything to do with this. And so, but I did that and so on and so forth. Okay, my next assignment was on a ship. Okay, there was a prosthodontist on the ship, there was a periodontist on the ship, and there was a general dentist office on the ship, and it was me. And none of them wanted to ever do any surgery. And so, if something had to be done, I got to do it.
Oh man.
And then I went to another duty station. And if anything had to be done with surgery, I had to do it. Then I went to Guantanamo Bay. And there was a surgeon there. And I said, "Oh, this, okay. Now I can just relax." And he left after about 6 months. And the commanding officer was, quote unquote, supposed to be the surgeon. He never left his desk. So here I am. I'm going in there. I have to treat fractures. I have to treat everything. I said, I think it's destiny. I have to be an oral surgeon. And there's 4. I became an oral surgeon.